it wasn't for strong males in my life, like my father figure and my uncles and stuff like that, lacing me up with wisdom, I probably would have been dead. I ain't gonna even hold you up because I grew up in an urban community, right? And there's so much the teacher can teach you. The teacher can't teach you how to survive in the outside world. You know what I'm saying? And everything you learn in school doesn't equate to your survival when you leave the school. So you need people with specific wisdom to help you survive. You get what I'm saying? Because this is I grew up without a father, right? And I had strong male figures in my life, like my father figure, for instance, Roy. I remember I was like, had to been like 13, and my brother was like 12, and we just moved into this neighborhood, right? Because we was fresh out the shelter, and we moved in our first house, like whole house, no two-family flat, actual house. And we was young at the time, and how we met Roy is me and my brother, we walked to the store, and it was this guy. This guy was flashy, nice clothes, nice shoes. You know, dude pulled out a stack of money like this, and he was like, "If y'all want to get right like this, y'all want to be fly, y'all want to have money, y'all want to be, balling like a shot caller, then you need to get with me." Now, note, the guy that walked up on us and told us this was like literally right down the street. We was like literally right down the street because Roy, he owned a barbecue slash barber shop, and it was like literally right down the street. I'd say probably like about, it was like literally, it was so close that Roy heard him. Roy heard everything he was telling us. That's how close, you get what I'm saying, that we was, that Roy was able to hear the dude's conversation of him telling us, "Hey, if you want to get right, this and that." So when Roy, he came, like I said, he came from his shop. He walked down the street up to us, and he looked at the guy, and he told that guy, he said, "These guys are young. Don't be pushing that bullshit." Excuse my language, guys, but Roy was gangster. I'm telling you. He said, "Don't be." He said, "Don't be pushing this bullshit off on them. These are kids. Get your fucking ass from around here, and I better not see you again." I'm telling you, Roy was straight. He's gangster, man. He's a good person, but he was on this butt. Is what I'm trying to say. And he said the dude walked away because Roy was one of them guys, that wasn't not to be played with, because his father was a kingpin. He was well known in the area, so people knew not to play no games. And when you grow up in the hood, it's certain people you don't play with. You just don't. And Roy was one of them. He was one of them. And he told us that the dude didn't say nothing when he told him that. Dude walked away. Roy said, "Come here. Let me show y'all something. Let me show y'all how to make money the right way, the legit way. I'm going to teach y'all how to run a business." And that's what he did. He taught us how to run a business, man. Like he was training us, teaching us, and he was saying that I see that guy all the time around here. He's a drug dealer. I don't want y'all to get tied up in drugs because you ain't gonna last long. That guy that you just seen, he ain't gonna last long. But I want y'all to make it. I want y'all to succeed. So I'm gonna teach y'all how to succeed. I'm gonna teach y'all how to get it, how to make money the right way. And that's what he did. He took us under his wing. I honestly believe right now to this day, now that I look back on it, now that I have became very close to the Father in heaven, I believe that I believe the Father in heaven sent that man to save us from that destruction, that destructive lifestyle. I honestly believe that. I honestly believe the Father in heaven sent that man to us to teach us the right way, how to do things, how to make money, for instance. Now that I look back on it, that's what saved me from being a product of my environment. I had strong male um, leaders. Roy, I looked at him as a leader because, he was doing good. He had his own business. He was a successful black man. I'm like, man, that's something you barely see. You barely see stuff like that. So me and my brother, we took to him easy because we wanted to be like that, and that's why we need more um, strong, fatherly, leaders out here. That's just gonna, instead of attacking these young guys, instead of saying that these young guys is over with, they teach them, teach these young guys and lace these guys up with wisdom, knowledge, and understanding on how to do things the right way. And if we got kids, us as fathers, we need to teach our kids these things, because if Roy would have never taught me that, I probably wouldn't even be spreading the gospel right now, because I'll probably be doing jail time. You get what I'm saying? I'll probably be locked up in the cell, or I probably will be dead. So that's why it's important for us as men, strong men, that's leaders, to lead our household into, if we see things that's not right, we may be seeing an out of control juvenile, this the youth in general, we need to start teaching them these things. That, hey, why you want to join a gang for? Why join a gang and why sell drugs and rob and do all these things out here, and you can own your own business? You can do the legit way. And that's exactly what my father taught me and my brother. And right now to this day, I use some of that stuff that he taught me with my business now. With communicating with people, a lot of things, handling money, a lot of things, just the basic principles with operating a business. I learned it at 13 years old, young age. I was a young kid. I learned this. I've learned business management at a young age. And that's something that, especially in the black community, that we are lacking. We lacking strong, fatherly male leaders, and it's like We need to bring that back. And that will teach these young boys to grow up and be real men. And we also need to teach them about the Father in heaven as well. You know, teaching them about Jesus, teaching them about, you know, repentance and stuff like that, because that's the key to really living they full potential. Because, you know, Father in heaven, he wants you to live your full potential. He doesn't want you to live life halfway. He wants you to live life all the way, your full potential. Father in heaven, he wants to see you successful. And I believe sometimes the Father in heaven will send people, even when you were a kid, even when you were, you know, any age, you elder, you a kid, adult, you know, the Father in heaven will send somebody to talk to you, you know, help you get out of that situation you're in. But it's up to you to want to. Imagine if you would have just said, "Nah, we don't want to listen to what you got talking about." The guy with the big stack of money, he would that seemed more pleasing to me, and that's exactly what Satan wants you to think. He wants you to go by based off what you see at the time. He doesn't want you to learn about the consequences that comes behind what you're seeing. He doesn't want you to know that. He doesn't want you to know that that path is destructive. That path is going to hang you. Doesn't want you to know that. You know? And that's just some things to keep in mind right there. Like when somebody is trying to teach you something, I don't know who maybe need to hear this. If somebody is come up to you, they may be successful or they may be somewhere in life where you trying to be in life. Don't just shut them down. Give them a chance to give their advice, or you know, just to lace you up. You know, don't just shoot them down before they can get the message over to you, because once you do that, now you hinder your own blessings now. And this is something right here I thought I needed to share, because I never really did a video on my father figure before. But yeah, man, like, man, like only if he could see me now, boy, he would be happy. He would be happy, boy. And there's just some things to keep in mind, guys. Don't shoot it down before you uh, can give it a chance.